Hey, what up guys and gals? Jesse here from Long Less Robots. In today's podcast, I want to talk and show about a little something I call Turnkey. And it's about the studio, it's about readiness. Let's giddy up. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Today's video is about Turnkey. What is Turnkey? Well, a guy named Bill B, back in the day when I was a young kid, in his home studio, this is 20 years ago, in his home studio, and we were all working at a Guitar Center as well. He had a little something which they called Turnkey. And what that meant is everything in the store or your studio, because we were working at Guitar Center, he brought me in there. I was living with him. He got me a job at Guitar Center. I was like 19, 20 years old. I know that because I tried to go out and have a beer with everybody, and back, you couldn't get into a restaurant and buy a beer or a bar or anything, hang out with the guys. I was pretty young. But he taught me how to keep my studio turnkey, because his home studio was turnkey. When I went to live with him, he had these small drum machines like the DR770. We had multi-track recorders, and tape and digital. So things were very different back then, 20 years ago, over 20 years ago now. But I still carry on some things today because I learned so much from Bill back in the day. What a character too, believe me, an interesting guy to meet. But what I do in my studio, and you should too, I hope you are doing this because it's going to increase your workflow, and it's going to increase your workflow, and it's going to increase your workflow. If you are in a studio and it takes you 20, 30 minutes to get things on and ready, I think I just don't see how people can work like that. So there's the whole, do I drink and eat in my studio? How clean is your studio? How dirty is your studio? To me, it's all suggestive. But if you can sit there and work 8 hours a day, and all you do for a living is make music, God bless you. God bless you. I wish we had that. We all do. But me, I don't. I work. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I need my time to be optimized. So when I come into the studio, I need things to be on and ready. I don't care if it's a single instrument and I plug my headphones into it, or it's my whole studio in totality. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's go through my studio right now. I got my phone right here, my main camera. I'm going to take it on a little journey. I hope you don't mind this style of video, but we really need to see, I really want to show you my studio really quick, and just to get you to understand what it means to be ready to create, because I think so many people are looking for that lightning bolt to come out, and hit them in the head of creativity, and they want to get started writing. They want to start producing, and all of a sudden you pick up your guitar and the amp is not even plugged in, and it's sitting in a closet because you need space. Well, I understand that, but you need to have other things ready, or you don't have strings on your guitar that are new and ready to go and ready to play. Nothing is ready for you, and that's not what I do. When I go into my studio, guys, let's get up, let's have some fun, let's get moving, and I want to show you just a little bit about what it is for me to be turnkey. My drum machine's on. My effects for my Behringer Model D is ready to go. I can turn my mixer on. The MPC one, of course, has got to be ready. We've got to have it on. My Voca New Bass, JU06A, the Behringer Model D, and of course everything here is going to be turnkey. Let's pick up the cam and get mobile, guys. Even my keyboard, my old school keyboard that I've had for over 15 years, the X50, this Korg still kicks ass. Guys, if I want to just pick up and play my Korg, it's ready to go. All the way up into my amplifier. Guys, it's ready to go. Okay? Turnkey can mean so much. All my cables are now organized. I just did this. It's about only a couple of months old. It's 2022, February, around the 5th. Everything's ready to go. So as I move around my studio, everything is just ready. All the way up into, and I know we're going to see some drinks here, and you guys are going to say, no. All the way up into my power amp, guys. So, cool. What does that mean for you? Well, guys, what it means is increased productivity and the ability to catch that lightning in a bottle. That's the most important thing. not mixing, not EQ, not compressors. It's your ability to get your ideas out of your head and onto the paper, into the DAW. And if you have multiple things keeping you from that, like grabbing a piece of gear, taking it and connecting it to another piece of gear. In the last video, we did a patch bay video that I was just showing some real-time uses that I use of that. It's to expedite my creative process. I don't care about what's going on in the DAW. It means nothing. If your songs are shit, it will not matter. Nobody wants to hear it. So you want to be able to get into the studio when you get off of work, pop on a couple things, get creative, lay it down if you need to, record it on a small recorder, and get out of there. I even have my audio recorder over here that I use for my YouTube videos. It's ready to go. I mean, I'm learning a lot about YouTube, so my cameras aren't always set up the way I want, but I'm having everything ready to go so I can get in and get out. Guys, even my lights are turnkey ready to go. So in the end, what does that mean? Well, I hope to encourage you to do the same thing. Have your most used pieces of gear ready to go. If you have a small bedroom studio, and you're limited on space, pick a few things, make sure they're always plugged in and ready to communicate even with your devices that you're trying to use to record with. So turnkey isn't almost always just the power. It's also about the connectivity, right? That's why in the last video, for my patch bay video, I was talking about how quickly everything is connected and can be connected to each other, whether it's to the DAW or a piece of hardware connected to effects, or even running out of the DAW into my MPC-1. Everything is ready to be connected or already is connected. All my hardware is connected to my interface and therefore it's connected to the DAW. So very quickly I can turn on my DAW and start using my hardware without touching a plug, without touching a cord. I can turn on my computer, DAW comes up, Logic Pro 10, turn on my hardware, and bam, it's already ready to go because of the patch bay. But it's also because of turnkey. It's that methodology that I learned from Bill. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for that experience, which is why it's so important for you to get out and be with other musicians, get into their studios, figuring out what they do and how they do things. You know, a little bit about myself. I mean, I've used multi-track digital recorders for a very long time. I've only been using the DAW for around 9 years, and I started with GarageBand, then I moved to Logic Pro. So a lot of this is new for me. You know, also because I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and now I got to rebuild my life back up. That's a video for another, that's a subject for another video, and I will do that video. But guys, I hope you've learned something today. If you found this video at all helpful and you've learned something, give me a like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. You can always check my music out, Long Lost Robots, on all platforms. Spotify is a good one. Put me on a playlist. I really do appreciate that. If you'd like, check out my productions and my songs. My songs are always the most important thing to me. Take care, guys. I hope you are making some beautiful music. We'll talk to you soon.